What do you think about what's on television in Canada right now?
I think local news is very important. People like to know what's going on in their neighborhood. People need to be informed. And it's my priority, local news.
Okay. And now what do you think about how it's delivered to you? Do you have a cable subscription or a satellite subscription?
We have cable TV with our local subscriber, and it's satisfactory.
All right, so you're happy with that?
We are.
Are there ways you would change it if you could?
I would like to be able to choose the channels that I want to watch because there's so many that we don't watch, and there's some that would cost us more to have the way the program is set up right now.
That's right, and I've heard that complaint before. Have you looked into other ways of getting television into your home, like over the internet?
No, at our age, it gets to be too confusing. As much as our children and grandchildren try and encourage us to keep up with technology, we need their help.
I don't know because I don't have TV. I don't have cable.
See, and that's a perfect answer. That's a perfectly valid answer. So, do you watch entertainment content, video content?
Yes.
Now, how do you get it?
I don't know, DVDs.
DVDs, anything online, anything like that?
No, not really.
No? So what are you a fan of?
Sports. Motorcycle racing, actually.
So how do you get that? It's hard to get those on DVDs or...
Online. Results online.
Okay.
I got upset with cable because they took Speed Vision off the basic package a long time ago.
That's true, that's true. They put it way up in the high on the dial.
Yeah, so I cut my cable off and said, screw it.
But you do have an internet connection.
I do have an internet connection, yes.
Do you watch any Netflix, any long form video?
No, not really.
No.
Access to it, I guess, but not really.
Okay, but so are you generally happy with how you get video content then?
Pretty well, yeah.
Yeah, so
I live a simple life.
what do you think about what's on television?
Very poor choices. I watch the sports, I watch the Weather Channel. I don't even watch the news much anymore, to be honest. We're at that age and stage right now where you can get the news all day, every day, whether you're in a coffee shop, it's on the screens. Everybody has that, and it's mostly bad news or horrific news. So quite honestly, anything for good news, I don't go to the TV.
So as far as entertainment content, what do you like?
Sports, basically, and History Channel, geography. And the problem with TV now, they can only create so much TV in a short period of time, and it's all reruns. So rerunning is probably the biggest issue.
Now, how do you get your television delivered to your house?
Yeah, through cable, through Cogeco.
Are you happy with that?
No, not at all.
What would you change?
The price.
Just the price?
The options are there. It's just a matter of whether you want to feed into them or accept them. And quite honestly, for myself, we have 5 TVs because everybody has a different want and desire and need. If somebody wants to watch a movie, I want to watch sports, somebody's doing something else. So that idea to me doesn't make sense, but then again, I don't want to split screen with 5 different shows on it. That's a little difficult. That's like CP24. That's tough.
Yeah. Now, would you like it so that the TV packages themselves were smaller and easier to choose from?
Exactly. Yeah. And for something, I mean, the fact that we're Anglo-Saxon, there's a mosaic of people living here now in Canada. I understand that, but I don't need all these other ethnic channels. Even when they only had the French content, it didn't matter. I speak French. I had a business in Sudbury at one time, but I have no problem with that. It's just that I don't need it personally, and I'd like to have it. I would take it out of my package.
Now, do you get video content in any other way off the internet, perhaps?
No, no. I'm personally pretty low tech, and our grandchildren that come over, they seem to go with the iPod, and they're satisfied with that. So the television isn't a go-to base.
What do you think about what's on television in Canada?
I don't know. I personally like what's on. The reality is a little much, though, personally, because Kim Kardashian and all that, I find it kind of weird. Like, I don't know. I don't watch much of it. I've seen them. I've heard stories. I don't really want to know much about it, but I hear there's booty calls and whatnot, and their family's really screwed up, and I don't know. It's just the way it goes, right?
All right. Anybody else? What do you think about what's on TV?
I have little sisters, and I absolutely hate what they watch. They watch these like kids shows, and it's all about drama and like this and that and the other thing, and it drives me crazy. I can't even be in the room when they watch it. So
like the Family Channel?
Yeah, like the Family Channel and that sort of stuff. I can't stand I can't stand what they put on TV for like little kids because I don't think the messages are what they're giving my kids or my sisters. It's appropriate. No, my kids, not my kids. My sisters. I don't think it's a good message that they're sending out.
All right, how about over here? What do you think about what's on television?
Well, I think that there's a lot of shows that give wrong messages, like for instance Toddlers and Tiaras. I feel like that show is just, I don't feel like they portray the right message like to the kids, and I feel like they glorify like the wrong message through television. So yeah.
All right, so question number 2 that the commission is asking is, what do you think about how TV is delivered to you? So how do you get your television delivered to you?
I think that it's a little bit inefficient in the way that you can get anything online like through Netflix and that sort of stuff, whereas a lot of the people, especially our age, don't use their television anymore because you can find TV on the website of the distributor, you can find TV on Netflix, and it's way easier and you don't have to watch commercials and that sort of stuff.
All right, great, thanks. How about you? What do you think?
I don't get actual TV just because of exactly what she said. Like, we just have Netflix and Apple TV, and we just watch the TV shows that we want to when we want to. And there's, I mean, my dad doesn't want to pay for cable because it's too expensive, he says. So it's just easier. Yeah, it's a lot easier.
How do you get sports? Are you sports fans?
I don't get sports, and that bothers me, but
Second channel.
Exactly.
Screen it on their websites. So like some news stations will post it, as well as I know. I get most of I watch the Leafs a lot, and I watch it on their website. So that's how I usually get it if I'm in my room or something when my family's watching something else. So I'll go on their website and watch it live from there.
Okay. So who hasn't spoken yet? How do you get television delivered to you?
We do still have cable because my dad, again, the sports thing, he's big on sports, but I just watch it on like Netflix or Apple TV or online mostly.
On your computer screen, on your phone?
Computer screen. Phone's not big enough.
Do you ever link it to your television screen?
Not normally, no, because
Okay.
often it's just we have the one TV and they're watching something, so I just watch on my laptop what I want to watch that day.
Okay, thanks. How about you? How do you get television?
Yeah, same. We still have cable because my parents watch cable, but I watch it on the internet on my computer screen and sometimes on my phone.
Okay, great, thanks. Who hasn't spoken yet? Over here. How do you get television? What are we
Why are you laughing? We do have cable, but mostly we use a PVR to record shows beforehand because you can just fast forward through commercials, or use Netflix or Apple TV because it's just more efficient.
So the CRTC is looking at changing its television policies. The first thing they're doing is asking Canadians what they think about their television system. So they have a few basic questions that they're asking. So I'm going to ask you the first one. What do you think about what's on television in Canada right now?
I think that it's regulated too much. Like it has to be so much Canadian content. I think it should be more free for people to, you know what I mean? Like I think it should be less regulated. Because
So free to choose, not free in price.
Yeah. Oh no, not free in price.
Yeah.
No, free to choose what you want to watch. Yeah. Because at the moment, if you have regular cable, it has to be so much Canadian content. I think.
Yeah.
From what I understand, and I think it would be better if it was more open to different channels, to different programming, like from around the world.
So if you had your choice, what would you like to see more of in Canada?
What would I like to see more of?
Yeah.
More movies, more alternative like cinema. You know. sort
Okay.
of, like,
So what do you think about the way you have television content delivered to you in Canada? Like, do you have a cable subscription, that type of thing?
Cogeco. Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, at the moment, I'd have to admit that I'm using more the computer, Netflix, to watch my media. I'm watching less and less TV.
Yeah, you're not alone there. Have you ever considered cutting or cutting back on what you pay for?
Yes. I mean, there's another service that's coming up that I've seen online where you get like 1,000 channels delivered. You know what I mean? So someone else is already seeing what Netflix is doing, and they're offering you all these same channels that, you know, that I pay $100 for through Cogeco, you know, for $10, $12, $20.
So would it be fair to say you're a little bit frustrated by the system somewhat now?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I don't know why I haven't cut it, but maybe it's you're holding on. It's like a soother or something. I don't know.
Well, it's still pretty easy, right? You can just sit down on the couch and just change a channel, and there's a whole kind of fountain of content.
I think people feel connected somehow more to what's going on by the regular service.
Is the local stuff important to you? Local news, that type of thing? And even though we're CHCH, you could if you have a negative response, that's okay.
No, I just moved here from Toronto a few years ago, and I actually like watching CH. I enjoy it because I just live right off of Queen in Maine, so it's interesting for me. So I actually do watch it.
There's a lot, but mostly reality shows are big because people like to see reality. Like I was thinking of doing a show myself. I can't tell you what it is because that's a secret, but it has to do with the reality world and things that go on day to day, things that people pay money to see when you just go out here and you can see it yourself. Like downtown Hamilton, there's a lot of whacked out people, and I mean it's good entertainment all around. You just sit back and watch, just don't get involved with it. I think TV's overrated. Like, I mean, you know, like the sci-fi stuff's not even real. And that's why people watch reality, so they can get, you know.
So what do you like?
I like Trailer Park Boys. I like Showcase, like the Weeds documentary. Like documentaries, First 48, stuff like that. Like real, like, well, Trailer Park Boys is based on a real thing with fake actors, but yeah, but still, it's pretty cool.
So what do you think about how TV is delivered to you? You know, over cable or over the internet? What's your favorite way of getting it?
Wi-Fi, my BlackBerry Playbook. Just go on a Wi-Fi network, pick it up, and I, you know, download stuff for free. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So do you have a cable subscription or anything like that?
No, you don't need it.
Not even for sports, anything?
Nothing. I got free music, free sports, free anything.
All online?
Yeah, YouTube, free movies, everything, man.
I have to say I don't watch much of it. There's a lot of news. Sometimes, you know, it's not always the fun stuff, so I guess that has kind of deterred me from watching some TV. And then I have a little kid at home, so I'm always trying to make sure there's good stuff for him to watch now as he's growing up. So it's okay, but I don't think it's, yeah, me and my husband both feel like we don't watch it like we used to.
What you do watch, though, what do you like?
I guess some of the more adventure stuff. We watched Amazing Race Canada. That was a huge one for us. And as I said, my son, he watches the Treehouse Station. And we always kind of watch some of the more true reality ones, or not reality, but just kind of true drama ones that kind of make us feel like a connection to what our life is like and just kind of reflect on that. So that's been kind of our vision.
Okay. Now, what about the delivery of the TV signal to your house? What do you think about that, and how do you get it?
Yeah, so we use a cable company. I don't even know what one right now. My husband's kind of on that. But I know we've had issues, though, because, you know, we paid for a certain service, and we thought we had so many stations, but a lot of stations have been taken away kind of from us, or you have to keep adding more and more to your package to get some of the stations that we used to get to. So there's a lot of sports stations. We love sports that now we don't get, and so that's really actually kind of changed what I'm allowed to watch because of the expense to what you would hope would be something you can always see.
Right now there's really not much on TV because I've been resorting to movies from the library all day. Only because I only watch like 3 or 4 channels at a time. So paying for the entire cable package is not what I want, you know?
So what do you like to watch?
I watch Comedy Channel, I watch Teletoon at night, and a bit of like A&E, like CHCH and all those shows. That's about it.
So do you have a cable or satellite subscription?
Not right now, no. Because of that, because I don't want to pay for 100 and something channels when I only watched 4.
So is that what you would say frustrates you the most, or are there other things?
That's what frustrates me the most.
So are there other ways that you get television delivered to you? Do you use the internet, anything like that?
Yeah, I use the internet to watch some TV shows because I don't know, do we get the channel AMC anymore?
Yeah, but it's up there on a tier, yeah.
It's up there on the tier, so I just watch it online now, you know?
So, and what do you think about the cost of all that, cost of the internet?
Oh my goodness, the costs are unbelievable. But right now, I don't know, because I got my grandfather paying for that right now.
Yeah.
So he's doing a good job at that.
Oh, that's good. So besides, what services do you use online to pull in video that you like?
I use Netflix a lot, that's for sure. Anytime I'm at my buddy's houses, sometimes I just get their passwords and I sign on. Because Netflix, unlimited movies for $8 a month, why not? Why not, you know? TV shows, you get it all.
And that's what the whole TV system is struggling with, because everyone is switching over to those type of things, because it's, like you said, easier and cheaper, right?
Even my grandfather has it on his PS3.
Your grandfather's a PS3?
My grandfather's got a PS3 and he watches Netflix all the time because he's done with TV unless it's sports.
Well, that's the thing. Are you a sports fan?
Not really. I'd rather be playing than watching.
Well, that's true. But I mean, if you look at the sports available on television, you've kind of got to go to a cable package, right?
Exactly. You know, like I'd rather just watch. I want one channel with hockey. That's it. That's my sport that I like to watch. Toronto Maple Leafs. You know.
I like dramas, reality shows, funny stuff. That's it.
So there are still some things that you do watch?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how do you get it delivered to you?
Well, I watch Netflix.
That's a perfectly valid answer. Netflix is perfectly. So you watch primarily over the internet on your computer?
Yeah, I mean, I have satellite, but nothing's really on it. Well, on the times I'm watching.
There is no channels here in Canada. Honestly, like comparing with a different world, we are nothing. Sorry to say that, but that's the truth. I just came from Dubai, Kuwait, Middle East, over than 150 channels, free channels.
Free channels?
Free channels. Honestly, I just came from Kuwait, comparing with Middle East, comparing with Europe. We are here, we don't have channels. Sorry to say that, but this is the truth.
Now, what channels do you like to watch, whether you're here? Let's start with the Middle East, where you were. What channels did you like to watch there?
The sports. Over than 50 channels, just the sports, see? Which is the young people, they are curious about it. Over than 50 channels, sports, free. We want to see what's happening, what's going on in the world, right?
Right.
Here, if we open the Canadian channels or the Canadian TVs, nothing. Even if you find it by money, or let's say 5 to 6 channels only.
Yeah.
Right? But comparing with a different world, over than 150 sports, which is the most young people or the sports guys, they like it. It's open world. From channel to channel there.
Yeah.
We will see what's going on. Here, sorry to say, we don't know nothing.
So what do you think about how television is delivered to your home? How do you get it into your house here in Canada?
They give us deal, and we like, how to say, like what's happened with me, like a real story. We make a deal with it. Let's say, I'm not gonna say the name of the company, okay? Then after 6 months to 8 months, they increase the price, or they want you to pick like the whole package, so you can get the channel that you want.
Yeah.
Which is, we don't need these channels, and most of them really silly channels.
So do you get any content off the internet?
Oh yeah. It's the free channels. We can see, how to say it, most of the channels free. We want it through the internet.
The first thing that is problematical is there's simply too much advertising, period. And it's interfering with news programs, it's interfering with documentaries, it's interfering with people's ability to even watch anything with some kind of continuity to it. So I think that's a very important point. Another important point is there simply is not enough Canadian-based television. There's some wonderful issues that even a place like Hamilton, 155 waterfalls in the city, which are gorgeous, and most people don't even know they exist, and very little coverage, for example, of featuring this wonderful environmental issue, environmental opportunity in Hamilton. So that's another thing that I think, in terms of local focus.
Right.
Then I think there's a problem of simply not covering the latest killing or the latest extreme event, which is, if you read the papers, you get your eyes and ears full of it. And I think it's important to get stories about people in this country and about issues in this country that really need attention. And the best way to do that is dramatizing it on a television screen.
Right. So what do you like about what you see on television in Canada, however?
I certainly like a program like The Agenda, which covers province-wide issues and city issues in Toronto. We're living in Hamilton only for 1 year. We're spelling off my daughter who's in Australia and another couple who are doing medical research in Toronto from Australia.
Okay.
But we're going back to Toronto. But the point is, we're in this entire Southwest Ontario region, and there's so many things that are simply not being covered, and I think that's very important. I think that's the main point that I would like to make.
Now, the one thing the Commission is also interested in is how you get television delivered to you, and what do you think about that?
Well, we get it by cable, and it's in our particular system is a Bell cable. One of the problems we were very incensed about is there were some major issues, events taking place in Toronto and Ottawa, which were covered on Rogers Cable, only for Rogers Cable owners. So you couldn't get a recording of that event. You couldn't. I could do it through Bell's system, but unless I had a subscription to Rogers, I couldn't get a Rogers Cable event that they happened to record, which was in the Toronto City Hall. And so it seems to me that we need some system, something like expanding CPAC in such a way that the cable companies are obliged to open up, all of them, obliged to open up access to whatever they've recorded should be public information.
Right.
And should be accessible either through YouTube or directly through your cable producer by simply putting a record button on and recording it. So that's something that I think is quite important.
Do you get much of your television or video from the internet?
My wife gets a lot from the internet. I have my time is filled up putting stuff onto the internet because of some voluntary work that I do through the internet.
Okay.
And so I have to use my time sparingly, and I don't have time to watch as much as I would like to certain programs on the internet.
Right now, I'm really into Game of Thrones, Doctor Who, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So what do you think about how TV is delivered to you? How do you get it delivered to you in your home?
Right now, I'm at my apartment. We just have basic cable, so it's just delivered on schedule, and you just get. I just know when it's on now. It's weekly scheduled programming.
You augment with the internet at all?
Yeah, definitely. Rewatch episodes on the internet. It's a lot more convenient on the internet because it's just to your time schedule, as opposed to TV fitting to TVs. It's internet fitting to you.
So when you go on the internet, what are you looking for? What do you like?
YouTube, just watch clips, or lots of websites to watch TV shows I like Game of Thrones or Doctor Who online, in case I miss it.
Anything in particular that frustrates you about the television system?
Like I said, it's very formulaic, and sometimes I can't fit to the schedule it has. So that's really inconvenient for me.
I like violence. A lot of violence. I love Sons of Anarchy, so I guess things that I don't or I wouldn't do in real life. So drama and fantasy and lots of violence. I actually really like violence.
What about news or sports?
News or sports? I don't really tune into much news or sports. I'm not a big sport fan unless it's hockey. News, I guess I get online more often than I do on television, but that's because I don't have my own TV. If I was scrolling through on the television, maybe I'd pass by news and then I would stop. But since I watch most of my television online, I don't really scroll onto the news.
Well, that goes to the next question that the commission has, is how do you get your television?
Online, so pretty much pirating. Legally, I get my television.
So do you use Netflix, that type of thing as well?
Oh, I do have Netflix as well. Yeah, I have Netflix, so that's really good. But when you run out of those shows and Orange and the New Black is done, then you have to go back to the pirating and find other shows to watch.